had said I would give names of persons who were present at the scene of the crime on the invitation of the principal of the college, who had nothing to do with the college, nor were they on duty at that time. They arrived even before the police arrived on the scene. And we have reason to guess.
Seven names. 7 names.
I have 4 names. I don't have 7 names.
Jason, that a part of the report of the CBI.
Yes, Lord, with their designations, some of them are elected members of the West Bengal Medical Council. So this is the reason why we are arguing that this is not just a plain and simple murder and rape. There are many more people involved in the incident that has taken place.
Please, all that we'd like to say right now is that the report by the CBI does specifically advert to this. So let's leave it at that, because we have further progress.
I did not mention the names in open court. 2 of them I did give to the Solicitor General. There are 2 more which I will forward to him in sealed cover.
On the next occasion, there is a priority, my lords, with regard to
In
this
fact,
financial.
Solicitor, your report at Roman 9 at page 6.
No, on this, my lord,
on this Roman 9 at page 6.
Yes. Page 6 and 7, where my learned friend, Miss Jai Singh's, my lord,
That sentence, all of them,
yes,
so on and so forth.
My
and
lords,
so-and-so, they belong to so-and-so,
So-
and also members of...
Fair enough, fair enough.
my lords, just one thing with regard to this is that a lot of these people who have been mentioned, I am told, in the CBI report with regard to financial irregularities, but also being present at the scene of the crime when they had no business to be, many of them are in positions of power even today.
Even today.
And this is what is contributing to the threat culture, the enabling of threats, my lords.
My lord,
So, my lords,
while-
if they could be, based on a prima facie appreciation of the status reports and the CBI investigation, sought to be suspended temporarily from their positions until the investigation is over.
My lord, this is
That
one of
is
the
what
prayers.
we're asking, my lord.
My lord, this is one of the prayers which we have made in an application filed before the court, which I would like to address you on. My lord, today, repeatedly, it has been said that the doctors are not going back to work. The first statement I wish to make is the state of West Bengal has acknowledged in its reply that we are all back at work. I would like that statement.
Right now,
One
that's not
second. Yes, it is. No, Mr. Mehta, it is linked. I'm trying to explain what accounts for the 51-day delay in their going back to work. I'm making a statement. I made a commitment on the last date of hearing that they will hold a general body and take a decision to go back to work. I am discharging that obligation by making a statement in writing that they have all gone back to work, and the state of West Bengal has acknowledged that in a reply filed by them today. So that issue, my lord, can be put to rest. Secondly, my lord, now the question is, what about the repetition of what happened last time? It is in that context that we say that the people who are being investigated by the CBI, 7 in number, are still in employment. And all that we are requesting is, this is the reason they didn't go back, because these people who are under investigation are still in employment in Archicor. And we only request temporary suspension of these people pending the inquiry, so that we can go back there with a sense of confidence that they will not target us. Lord, I know an undertaking has been given, and I make a statement, we've not been targeted. I've made that statement, my Lord. But how does one expect them to work in the same college when the same people who are under investigating are still, my Lord, in positions of power? Therefore, only they should be suspended. My Lord, I know that no disciplinary action can be taken against them until a proper inquiry is held. But surely, my Lord, they can be suspended to inspire that confidence.
Let's hear Mr. Dwivedi. Yes,
That's what we have, not in this language, but we have hinted at that, my lord, that if your lordship comes to page 7, just, my lord, at the top of the page, doctors belonging to so-and-so and also members of so-and-so, they claim that they tried to pacify the agitating trainee doctors. However, the agitating trainee doctors allege that aforementioned doctors were working on behalf of administration and also obstructing protests. Further investigation is...
My Lord, let's leave aside the protest.
Not
We are not on
restricted to RG
protest
for-
anymore.
It's not restricted to RG Kar. The people in positions of power are in positions of power with regard to the medical examinations, the examination board, the corporation that takes tenders, and the West Bengal Medical Council, my lords.
Mr. Solicitor, by the next date of listing,
My lords.
this is something on which you must apprise the court. I mean, who are the people? Even on forget whether they were involved in any conspiracy to hush up the murder, or that's a very important aspect. But keep that aside for a moment. Are there any people presently who are under investigation, who are in positions of authority in the hospital, against whom there is an allegation of involvement in financial irregularities?
Or my lord, with the crime.
Or with
Both.
the first crime.
Inside
Both
and
are-
outside
Tied
the
up with
hospital.
cover up and the financial irregularities.
Both are
Yes.
crimes.
Both
Yes.
are financial.
Either of the crimes or both of them.
So let us know, because then
So let
Mr.
CBI indicate, my lord, to us, my lord, who are those people, and we'll, my lord,
That's
then take
No,
action.
we'll give them the names and see.
Yes,
We'll
I'll
give them
act-
the names, there's no
because
problem.
Mr. Solicitor, ultimately any action has to be taken by the state government as the disciplinary authority. For us to issue a direction of a general nature right now without being in possession of full facts would be really to take over that jurisdiction of a disciplinary authority. So I think it would be appropriate if at this level at least there is some sharing of information
Yes.
Yes,
I will
on
help.
what with the state government, so that then they can, because suppose they were to take action and there is a petition challenging that action, the first question would be, what is the basis on which you have acted? Second, of course, you can suspend in anticipation of a disciplinary inquiry, but they must have some material. Have you, as a state government, have you taken any call on any disciplinary action against
my lord,
any
we
other
were
person?
told about 5 doctors. They have been, my lord, suspended action have been taken. Rest, if CBI, as and when they tell us, my lord, something specific against them, or that they have been made accused, because investigation is very wide.
Who are the 5 doctors in RG Corps whom you have suspended?
The recommendation is with the head of the post-mortem is supposed to be the head of the threat culture.
Sir, there are many more than that. My lord, we
Justin
are
Alji.
willing to share the names with the state of West Bengal. And my lord, if they are not suspended, they can at least be asked to proceed on leave during this pendency of the CBI inquiry. Because my lord, otherwise we'll be told again and again, you're protesting, you're not going back to work. My lord, it's been a big effort convincing them to go back to work. We've succeeded. And they have gone back to work. But the reason I'm raising this issue is, my lord, I don't want to come back to the court and say it's happening all over again. So let them just go on leave. I will give the names. My lord.
The names
Yeah,
to
yeah.
CBI.
No,
And I will
Learned
give the names
judge-
as well, my lord.
Chief Justice is saying it's for the state.
Society.
My application 2188 is specifically on this issue on behalf of doctors working across the state of West Bengal, where we have named specific individuals who are involved as part of the so-called mafia syndicate nexus, whatever my lord's teams to call it. But this is the specific issue that we have identified, that the underlying motivation and the interstate nexus, not intrastate nexus, which is singularly responsible for what has ultimately happened, needs to be investigated. We have identified individuals in our application. That is the application number 213387.
Now,
So we will share
presently
those
we are looking,
details.
right. Presently we are looking at 2 aspects of RG Corps. One, the actual incident which took place, and the issue of financial irregularities.
This goes beyond our
Now-
is the
It
entire.
does go beyond RG,
Minute.
my lords.
Absolutely.
No, my lord, today it's a question of
Just one
doctors
second.
going back to work.
The only question is that today, if we expand the investigation across other hospitals, then we'll be in a situation where CBI will be left with an impossible situation. We are focusing on RG Corps, but rest assured, thereafter we'll see on what further to do. You have moved that application, that's important. At this stage, I think what you can do is, you can, Mr. Solicitor, you can look at the IA, so that, you know, if there is any further, if you know there is a need for broadening the investigation, you can apprise the court, and then we can pass whatever supportive orders are necessary to effectuate that purpose. So if this is a part of a broader nexus, either intra or interstate, then certainly this is a matter which we will have to entrust to the CBI, of course. But before we do that, we must have some concrete material
Yes, sir.
from
Shall,
the applicants
examine
and which
their-
we must share with the CBI.
No,
Appointed.
my lord, we have been cautious. We have been cautious in sharing the material because of the investigation is pending. I said I have it in writing, but I'm not mentioning
Because
the names.
they are not going to take action because of the various doctors or groups of doctors or associations who are coming up with their own grievances and asking
No.
for here and there. Just a minute, please. On the last occasion, my lord, when the doctors met, my lord, the CM, the Chief Minister, my lord, then they requested transfer of the Commissioner Police, the DC North, the Director Medical Education and Director Health Service. All of them have been transferred. My lord,
They
from there.
wanted resignation, my lords.
Now resignation, dismissal, remove. So that's the whole problem.
But he was given a.
No.
The Commissioner of Police
It's
was
just that,
given promotion.
for an inquiry, that somebody, suppose that is challenged.
That was the plea, my lord. The resignation
That,
was the plea.
would that even stand? Has
Demand.
action which is.
And this is what they want.
They're not making any such demands. Let them go and leave.
Just allow it.
Demands, my lord.
Now this is all of them signed it. Now this is what they gave to us. We gave it to your
My
lordship.
lord,
That's the last.
may I just, your lordship will
Now
just-
further, my lords, as and when, my lord, the CBI gives us, my lord, any information about any person, my lord, however high or low, of having been involved, my lord, in something, or that, my lord, his presence is not required, he should be removed. He will be action will be
I
taken
would only
against them.
request, my lord. I would only
No
request,
difficulty.
I would request, my lord, them to give me those names in a sealed cover. I will pass it on to CBI.
No, until the state.
Just one. A fourth status report dated 30 September 2024 by the DIG, so head of branch, Special Crime -1 CBI, has been submitted to the court. Full stop. The status report indicates the leads on the investigation, which are being followed up by the CBI, and the steps which have been taken in the course of the investigation. Next. During the course of the hearing, learned counsel appearing on behalf of the resident doctors have submitted their concerns to the effect that उसके पहले I just don't say that learned counsel without at this stage it would be inappropriate at this stage, where the investigation is in progress, it would not be appropriate to set down the details of the investigation or the leads which are being followed by the CBI, since that would compromise the status and effectiveness of the investigation. Full stop. At the same time, learned counsel appearing on behalf of the resident doctors, don't say at the same time, the CBI, as it appears before the court, is conducting an investigation on two facets. First, the alleged rape and murder which took place on 9 August 2024 at RG Kor Medical College and Hospital. And second, the allegations in regard to financial irregularities, which was also entrusted for the investigation of the CJI by the Orders Division Bench of the Calcutta High Court. To stop whether each of these are completely disconnected features, or whether there is a relationship between the two, is a matter again of investigation by the CBI. Full stop. During the course of the hearing, learned counsel appearing on behalf of the resident doctors as well as their associations have drawn attention to the fact that several persons against whom there are serious allegations of misdemeanor in the medical college and hospital are still occupying positions of responsibility. Full stop. The status report which has been submitted by the CBI indicates that several of these aspects are still under investigation. Stop. Responding to the submission of the doctors to the effect that the persons in positions of responsibility at the medical college and hospital should either be suspended or be directed to proceed on leave is a matter which will require examination by the state government as the appointing and disciplinary authority. Full stop. Mr. Rakesh Dwelji, learned senior counsel appearing on behalf of the state of West Bengal, has submitted that if the CBI would share with the state government such preliminary material which would indicate the complicity of any persons in positions of authority, the state government will duly take necessary action in accordance with law, consistent with the service rules and regulations. Full stop. That apart, in the event that it appears that the irregularities which are noticed in the context of the RG Core Medical College and Hospital cover not just the hospital in question, hospital and medical college in question, would extend to other such institutions within the state, within or outside the state,
So
the court may be, the investigating team of the CBI may be informed along the modalities which have already been prescribed by the earlier orders of this court. Thereafter, the court may take a call on what further directions to the CBI would be required to ensure that the investigation covers other aspects which may travel beyond the incidents which have taken place at the RG Core Medical College.
Well,
Your
I have a
Lordship,
request.
please
I have a
record.
request to make. Lord.
Just record your A number.
Now,
My lord,
sorry,
your
I
lord,
have one request, Lord.
A fresh application being IA number
213387
213387 of 2024, which has been filed in that regard, is taken on the file.
Great.
Full stop. Details of the IA may be shared with the investigating officers of the CBI. Investigating officers.
my lord, your lordship may kindly record. My lord,
my IA number was
Because I have one request. Lord.
Now, just 1 second.
I have one
A little bit time to inform Mr. Dwivedi. Mr. Dwivedi, between the last order and this order, today's hearing, what steps have been taken by the state of West Bengal for the installation of CCTV
Yes,
cameras?
we have filed an F.
2, for providing additional security. 3, for constructing duty rooms which are separate for male and female doctors, for construction of toilets, for providing biometric access to critical areas of hospital. What steps? What is the present improvement in the?
We have filed an affidavit, Lord, today, Lord, in the morning.
What have you
Now-
done?
We have shown the progress, Lord, in that, but we need some more time, Lord, to complete the task. Kindly have paragraph 8,
At page?
page 5. There have been some logistical delays, Lord, because of release of funds and all that. Otherwise,
floods
and
floods in
massive floods.
the state of West
You have to
But
take
still-
action now. How many new CCTV cameras have been installed? Tell us
Because
that.
we mentioned CC at page 5, Lordship, paragraph 8, last bottom, Lord.
Bengal. Is it
6178 were to be installed, Lord. 26% have been installed, Lord, up till, and remaining we are likely to complete by 10th of October, Lord. And so far as RG Core is concerned, it is at page paragraph 11.
Here's that no part of the work is above 50%. Duty rooms 49%.
That's right.
Washroom 40%. Lighting arrangements 33%. CCTV installation 26%. Why is the progress so tardy? Because I mean we have been monitoring this now for quite since 9th of August. We are into
Because tender,
September.
etc., had to be floated because of all those, but we are like, we'll complete all this road by maximum 15th October.
You have said 31st of October, completed by 15th of October now.
I'm saying 15th. I've told them a lot myself. They wanted time to 31st so that we don't have to revert back for more time. But I want your lordships to post it by 15th October, Lord, so that by that time, Lord, we can give your lordships. Most of the work will be completed, Lord. And so far, RG Core is concerned, Lord, duty room, Lord, tenders, etc., have matured, but we have to take permission.
Who's
from
looking after?
CJI.
Who's now the principal at the RG Core Medical College and Hospital today? Has somebody been appointed?
Dr. Manas Banerjee.
This comes from outside, or he was a doctor within actually?
He's from Bengal only.
No, but he was within RG Core, or he's coming from some
No, he
other-
was 4 years back. He has been in RG Core.
Barasat Medical College.
Which medical college?
Barasat Medical College.
Barasat Medical College.
And later on, sir, he was, after this incident, we reviewed his reputation and I knew him. So he was earlier MSVP of RGKR almost 4 years back, very efficient officer. So we got him back as a principal because he was already promoted. And one of our best MSVP, Dr. Sanjay Roy, who was there in Pakistan, we also brought him. He's a young guy and he has developed quite a good reputation and comfort with the resident doctors. And both of them are very well educated within the
No, this is unfair. This is unfair.
But it's not unfair.
Just 1 second.
I don't know from all these
It's
numbers.
actually.
Let CBI investigate.
You can't
Who are you?
make 1 second.
No, I have the order sheet.
Just one,
Where-
Who is he?
1 second. Listen to us. You can't just throw an allegation
Yes.
like that across the bar.
Responsibility.
On the next date of listing, you show us something to indicate.
No, I'll show the orders where the DNA was conducted
Right.
by the High
Yeah.
Court.
Put it on the record.
I'll put it on record.
The record. You can't just, otherwise
Oh,
we have
yes,
to,
sir.
we have to follow some order and
Yes, sir, I'll
procedure
put it on
and
record. I'll put it on
Nothing
record.
beyond
Oh, yeah. We'll immediately ask them to replace the
But
order.
he should also tell us what is his locus, where he is getting information.
I actually.
All right, look, you put it on the record.
I'll put
That's it.
And which party does he represent?
Because may I have a very important request to make? Our London friend said that all doctors have joined, but they have joined, but only they are performing emergency
Oh,
work.
just a minute, Pillow. This is
They
a
are
false
one
statement. It's a false statement
All
and
right.
they've admitted it in their affidavit. Pillow,
Very
Indira Jaising,
Yes.
senior counsel appearing on behalf of the resident doctors, has made a solemn statement that pursuant to the hearing which took place in court on the last occasion, all doctors have rejoined their duties.
Pillow, they were the expression that I've used.
Responding to the statement of Mr. Rakesh Bedi,
They are not doing IPD and
One
OPD.
second.
that learned senior counsel appearing on behalf of the state of West Bengal, that the doctors are not performing
IPD
the
and
IPD and OPD duties, Ms. Jaising assures the court that the doctors are performing all duties without exception.
Including all essentials and emergency services that may be recorded.
All duties.
No, not because there's a dispute over the expression. The essential services are being performed.
You're not performing only essential services, right? You're performing all duties we take it from you.
And they've admitted it in their own affidavit.
You're performing
No,
all
we
duties.
have said not IPD, OPD.
This is part of the threat
Anyway, because
culture.
I'm not accusing, because I'm only
This is
praying
part
with folded hands.
I wish of the doctors, not.
So therefore, we have recorded your statement that you are
Puja.
performing all duties. Now abide by the statement.
And second, now, Milord, one,
All medical and essential work, including
PD.
IPD and OPD work.
Yes, I'm great.
My lords, in all of this, there have been 2 attacks. On the 27th of September in Shagor Dotto Medical College Hospital, there was an assault when the mob entered and the police and the non-state security personnel, the Ratire Shati said, that they are doubling down on, stood back. So, my lords, there is
But
a
you
second
stood back.
attack that happened yesterday. My lords, if I may just
That you're investigating. This is not a general investigation onto what is happening on issues of law and order in every hospital.
Yes.
But we take it that you are taking action in accordance with.
We have filed
People
them.
have been
My lords,
arrested
in this
by a-
regard, action is not
the
being
two
taken.
per- A patient died because he was not provided bed. He was critical. No doctor attended.
No,
Don't
my
be
lords, these
affected.
these allegations cannot be
But
made, my
can-
lords.
They are-
These allegations cannot be made.
Surely we can't decide them on the level of the volume of the voice. We'll have to decide it if it all after records come before us.
Exactly, my lords.
Yes.
There are no records.
Yeah.
There's an assertion by the state, we're denying it. Just let
We have put it on record. Let them reply.
Lordship was physically away.
Fine.
I'm the nearest proximate.
No, I'm the nearest.
There are,
all right.
just a minute. Lordships, may I?
All right,
Just Prakash.
Mr. Solicitor, when will you give us the report on the status
Whenever
of the investigation?
Lordship next.
We'll take it up on the Monday after the mini break of the court. So that will give you almost 10 days time to investigate. Of
Can
course,
it be
Milord, Milordine. Your Lordship,
may I
just hear me for a second.
Your Lordships, may I
My
mention
lord,
an
please
angle
allow me for a
Given
second.
sensitive nature of the pictures, I've taken those back.
Your Lordship,
One second. Is it in relation to the state of West Bengal and the RG Kaur
Your
hospital?
Lordship, this is very...
One second. Yes or no? Then that is the end of the matter. Sorry. No.
Your Lordship,
Not a word,
No, sorry.
not a word of clarification that the High Court can proceed with the other petitions, my lord, which are outside the remit of what your lordships are supervising.
Yes, Lydia. No.
Sir,
No, but
my lord,
If we-
that's a, they, last time they said it's
Ketlani,
before the
if we
Supreme Court.
wanted the High Court to stay its hand, we would have indicated that right away.
So, my lord,
We didn't. It's a,
can we have a specific...
there are issues of moment which we are considering. There are issues which are best left to be handled at a local level by the division
Exactly.
head.
Therefore, my lord, just...
But they also know that issues which we are dealing with, they will not touch.
My lord,
But your lordship will just give me 1 second on the task force
Why-
issue.
Joshi from Medical Legal Society of India.
Sorry,
Rajiv Joshi from Medical Legal Society of India.
have you filed an IA?
Yeah, we have filed an intervention.
What is your IA for? How are you concerned with RG Kaur Medical College?
Arjikor in general violence all over India that is happening.
That we will take out. We'll go step by step. We'll first deal with RG Kaur. We are dealing with the state of West Bengal. We'll deal with this at a little later stage.
I have to
Yeah.
submit
Lord,
these
your
documents for your consideration. Your Honor.
A single word on the question of the task force. My lord, I have already filed an IA. I have no problem if it's taken up on the next date. But the point that we've pointed out there is the task force doesn't have any representation from West Bengal. We have made a humble request to this court to 1 second, please. The task force is constituted by this honorable court. The members' names have been put by this honorable court. Only this court can alter the composition of the task force. It's a humble request to include into the task force at least one representative from the state of West
See,
Bengal.
yeah.
1 second.
1 second. Now, will you both sides? Will you please hear us?
Yes,
The task force is not state specific.
it's
The
not.
task. One second.
That's right.
We are going to issue directions based on the report of the task force, which will have pan-India application.
Yes, my lord.
If we agree to your suggestion, we will have to include representatives of every state in the task force.
Oh,
Therefore, just 1 second.
Yes.
Therefore, we have directed that the task force shall engage with stakeholders.
I understand.
Please address an email on behalf of the resident doctors, both juniors and seniors in West Bengal, to the task force.
Yeah.
The cabinet secretary and his team are coordinating all logistical arrangements. They will ensure that you are heard by the task force and all your inputs are taken into account. Please rest assured.
We agree. And just 1 minute, my lord. One,
Papers.
my lord, just 1 minute.
This is not like what happens, in
No,
a
wait.
conference of doctors. It's a court of law.
Yeah, that's
You will speak when you are called upon to speak. Right? Yes. Yes.
Here you can talk. My lord, just one more thing. I understand what has been put to me, that it's an all-India task force and therefore every state can't have a representation. However, having regard to the fact that this incident arose in West Bengal,
Just do this, Ms. Jaising. Please write an email right away to the convener of the task force. If they have not heard already the resident doctors from West Bengal, please request for an urgent appointment. You can then have a few representatives of all the associations meet them and give them a complete appraisal of what your concerns are, what your inputs are to the work of the task force. It will be a welcome suggestion, and they will give you a hearing. The Solicitor General is here. He'll communicate it to the Cabinet Secretary.
my lord, would your lordship consider, second, please let me finish. Would your lordship consider appointing a sub-task force for West Bengal so that the specific issues which have arisen in West Bengal, which are not common to the rest of the country, can be looked into?
You see, all the members of the task force are people of unquestioned national standing.
I don't question it, Lord.
And therefore, the only point which you have made, which is a valid point, which is that the concerns specific to the doctors in West Bengal should be taken into account. Therefore,
Yeah.
Ms. Jaising, all that you have to do is to address an email to the Cabinet Secretary. They will ensure that at the next meeting of the task force, representatives of all the resident doctors are heard by the task.
I will convey this to them for sure.
We're going to
My
do
lord,
that, my lord, on the next
which is
occasion.
On the next date of hearing, I'll briefly mention what they are. We do not want nomination of students, interns, and doctors. We want them to be elected representatives on the monitoring committee, the grievance committee, and the other committees. Your lordship may take it up for hearing. The state has committed to facilitating elections.
Right, but therefore this can be really addressed to the task force itself.
No, my lord, not to the task force, to your lordships. I have put it in the
My lord,
application.
we'll do it on the next occasion, my lord.
It's part of the agreed minutes.
Grateful, my lord.
Right.
It's part of the agreed minutes, my lord.
Not now going to where the election should be held, nominations should be made. We
It
must
has to
also,
be done, my lord. It
we
can't
must
be.
also understand the limit
It
of
can't
our
be nominated people
My-
on the
my
on
lords,
the
please
on these
submit on the
committees,
next
my lord.
occasion. On the
These
next occasion,
committees
please.
cannot have nominated people. They have to be elected, my lord.